Did you know that the very act of sitting down and standing up can either save your leg strength or slowly steal it, depending on how you do it? Most people over 60 are doing it the wrong way every single day without realizing it, and that one small mistake is costing them their balance, their confidence, and their independence. But here's the good news. Fixing it takes almost no effort. Keep watching because the simplest exercise you have never tried is coming up, and it might be the most important thing you do this year. In this video, you will discover 5 unique chair exercises that most people have never heard of, starting with a simple, slow movement that completely changes how your legs handle everyday tasks. Then a quiet heel lift that wakes up muscles most people forget they have. Then an inner squeeze technique using nothing but a folded towel that rebuilds the hidden strength holding your knees and hips together. Then a seated march that retrains your body to walk powerfully again. And finally, the one I've been saving for last, a completely invisible exercise that looks like you're doing absolutely nothing, but may be the most effective leg strengthening movement a person over 60 can do from a chair. We're going to cover all of it today, step by step, in plain, simple language made exactly for where you are right now in life. If you want to stay active, strong, and independent after 40, 50, or even 60, subscribe to this channel right now and drop your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. I read every single one, and I would love to hear from you. Now let's get started. The first exercise is called the slow sit-down press, and it's one of the most underestimated movements a person can do. Here's what it is. Instead of simply dropping into your chair the way most people do, you take control of the descent and lower yourself down slowly and deliberately using the strength of your legs alone. That's it. No equipment, no floor work, no complicated form. Just you, your chair, and the power of intention. Here's why this matters so much if you're between 40 and 70. The muscles that control your body as you lower into a seat, those are the exact same muscles that catch you when you stumble, that steady you on uneven ground, that keep you from going down when your foot catches on a rug. Most people never train these muscles because they've been letting gravity do the work for decades. Every time you just drop into a chair, those muscles are getting a little quieter, a little weaker, a little less ready when you need them most. This exercise wakes them back up. To do it correctly, sit toward the front edge of your chair so your feet are flat on the floor about shoulder width apart. Cross your arms at your chest or rest your hands gently on your thighs. Do not push off the armrests. That's what we're moving away from. Now, stand up just slightly and then begin lowering yourself back down to a slow count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just before you touch the seat, pause for 1 second, then sit fully. That pause is where the real work happens. Keep your back straight, your weight in your heels, and make sure your knees are tracking forward over your toes. Never let them cave inward. If you feel unsteady at first, lightly rest one hand on the armrest until your confidence builds, and that's completely fine. Do 8 to 10 repetitions for one set, rest for 60 seconds, and complete 2 to 3 sets. If you're just starting out, only lower halfway down and do just 5 repetitions. Your body will build from there naturally. People who do this exercise consistently begin noticing that standing up and sitting down feels steadier and more controlled within just 2 to 3 weeks, and that quiet improvement carries into everything else they do throughout the day. And stay with me because the last exercise in this video is the one that surprises people the most, and it's coming. The second exercise is called the heel lift hold, and most people skip this muscle group entirely without realizing the cost. Here's what you do. While seated comfortably in your chair with your feet flat on the floor, you slowly raise both heels off the ground as high as you comfortably can, hold that position for 2 full seconds at the top, then lower back down with control. Simple, quiet, and deeply effective.
The reason this matters for people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s is this. The calf muscles are responsible for far more than most people think. They help push blood back up from your legs towards your heart. They stabilize your ankles when you walk on uneven ground, and they're a key part of what keeps your stride feeling confident rather than cautious. When these muscles weaken, legs begin to feel heavy by afternoon, ankles feel less reliable, and walking starts to feel like more effort than it used to.
To do this correctly, sit tall with your back not resting against the chair, feet flat and hip width apart. Slowly raise both heels together, squeeze gently at the top for 2 seconds, then lower them back down slowly and smoothly. Do not let your heels drop or slam down. That takes away from the benefit and can jar the joints. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Do 12 to 15 repetitions per set, complete 2 sets, and rest 45 seconds between them. For beginners, just lift your heels a small amount at first. The height will improve on its own as strength returns. Within a few weeks, people begin noticing their legs feel less heavy at the end of the day, and their footing feels more grounded when walking. Keep going. The most surprising one is still ahead. The third exercise is called the inner knee squeeze press, and it targets a group of muscles almost no one thinks about until something goes wrong. All you need is a folded bath towel or a small, soft pillow. Place it between your knees while you are seated, then gently but firmly squeeze your knees toward each other, hold for 5 seconds, and release slowly over 3 seconds. That is 1 repetition. The muscles being worked here, the inner thighs, are quietly responsible for keeping your knees from wobbling, your hips from drifting, and your whole lower body from feeling misaligned when you move. When these muscles lose their tone, which happens gradually and without much warning, you may start to notice your knees feel less steady on stairs, your hips feel stiff when you first stand up, or your lower back aches more than it used to. The inner thigh connection runs all the way through the body, and when it weakens, the whole system feels it. To do this correctly, sit with feet flat and hip width apart. Place your towel or pillow between the knees. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, squeeze your knees toward each other with steady, even pressure. Not a crush, just a firm, controlled hold. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your hands resting comfortably on your thighs. Hold for 5 seconds, release for 3, and repeat. Do 10 squeezes per set, complete 2 to 3 sets, and rest 30 to 45 seconds between sets. Beginners should use a softer pillow and shorten the hold to just 2 seconds at first. With consistent practice, knee tracking improves noticeably when walking, and that hip wobble on stairs gradually smooths out over 3 to 4 weeks. One more before the big one, and this next exercise builds something you use with every single step you take. The fourth exercise is called the seated march with pause, and it is one of the most practical movements in this entire video. While seated in your chair, you lift one knee up as if you are stepping over a low object, hold it at the top for 3 seconds, lower it slowly, and then do the same on the other side in a steady alternating rhythm. What makes this exercise so valuable for people between 40 and 70 is that it directly targets the hip flexor muscles, the ones responsible for lifting your leg with each step when you walk. When hip flexors weaken, steps get shorter, shuffling begins, and the effort of walking increases significantly. Many people mistake this for general aging, when in fact it is simply a specific muscle group that has gone quiet from long periods of sitting. To do it correctly, sit near the front of your chair with your back upright, feet flat on the floor. Lift your right knee as high as you comfortably can, hold for 3 seconds, then lower slowly until your foot barely touches the floor before lifting the other side in a steady alternating rhythm. Keep your hands resting on your thighs. Do not use your hands to pull the knee up. Keep your eyes forward and your breathing steady and relaxed. That is 1 march on each side. Do 10 per side, 20 total per set. Complete 2 to 3 sets, and rest 60 seconds between sets. Beginners should use just 1 second hold and lift only as high as feels comfortable. Never push into discomfort. Over 3 to 4 weeks, walking begins to feel more natural. Hip stiffness in the morning starts to ease out, and climbing stairs stops feeling like such a production. And now, the one I promised you, the last exercise, the one that surprises people every single time. This exercise is called the wall chair isometric leg press, and when I describe it, your first reaction might be, that's it?
But stay with me, because this deceptively simple movement may be the most powerful thing in this entire video. Here's what you do. You sit in your chair with both feet flat on the floor, planted firmly, hip-width apart. You take a slow breath in, and then as you breathe out, you press both feet into the floor with steady, firm, deliberate force, as if you were trying to push the floor away from your body, but the floor is pushing right back. You hold that invisible press for a full count of 8. Then you release completely and let the muscles go fully soft for 5 seconds. That is 1 repetition.
What is happening inside your body during those 8 seconds is remarkable. Your quadriceps, the large muscles across the front of your thighs, your hamstrings along the back, and your glutes are all contracting deeply and powerfully without a single joint being stressed, without any balance challenge, and without any movement at all. This type of muscle contraction, where the muscle works hard without the body moving, is one of the safest and most effective ways to rebuild strength in legs that have been less active. It is strength training hidden inside stillness. For anyone who has felt too stiff, too sore, or simply too far gone to build leg strength again, this exercise is the answer. To do it correctly, sit with your posture upright, feet firmly planted, and press evenly through both feet at the same time. Do not hold your breath, breathe steadily throughout the hold. You should feel your thighs firm up and your glutes engage. If you feel that, you are doing it perfectly. Hold for 8 seconds, release fully for 5, and repeat. Do 8 to 10 holds per set, complete 2 to 3 sets, and rest 60 to 90 seconds between sets, because the effort here is real, even though it looks nothing from the outside. Beginners should start with a 4-second hold and just 6 repetitions, then add 1 second to the hold every few days as the legs grow stronger. One important note: if you have high blood pressure that is currently uncontrolled, please check with your doctor before adding isometric holds to your routine, as the internal effort can briefly elevate pressure during the contraction. For nearly everyone else, this exercise is one of the most universally accessible and genuinely effective movements available. Within 2 weeks of doing this consistently, legs begin to feel firmer and more stable. Standing up from a chair starts to feel like less of an event. Stairs begin to feel like stairs again instead of a challenge. And something else returns too, something harder to measure but just as real. A quiet confidence that your body is still working for you, still responding, still capable of becoming stronger than it was yesterday. You have now learned 5 exercises that work together to rebuild the leg strength that keeps you upright, steady, and free. The slow sit-down press that puts you back in control of your own movement. The heel lift hold that reawakens the muscles that support every step. The inner knee squeeze that restores the hidden alignment holding your lower body together. The seated march that retrains your hips to walk with power and intention, and the isometric leg press that builds deep muscle strength from the safety of your chair without stress, without strain, and without any movement at all. None of these require a gym. None of them require getting on the floor. All of them can be done today, right where you are. It is not too late. That is not just something nice to say, it is simply true. Muscles at any age respond to effort. Not perfectly, not overnight, but they respond. The person who starts today at 68 is stronger at 70. The person who felt like they could not stand without gripping the armrests one day finds themselves simply standing. And that moment, quiet as it is, changes everything about how they see themselves. You deserve that moment. So start today. Even 1 set, even 5 minutes. Just start. If this video gave you something valuable, subscribe to EverFit Guide so you never miss another one. And please drop your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. This community is full of people just like you who are choosing strength, choosing independence, and choosing to show up for themselves every single day. You just join them.